What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I haven't done this style of video in a while. The last one I did like this, I think, was my iPhone unboxing video, which weirdly got a lot of views, a lot more than my normal style of videos. And at first it didn't quite make sense, but then I understood why. It's a more universal topic. So today, I thought it would be cool if I could show you guys how to make a paper airplane crossbow with stuff you can have at home. So let's get right into it. This whole idea kind of popped into my head after a project that we were doing at school. But after I thought about it, I thought it would be a really cool thing to build and use for myself. But then once I built it, I realized it was so cool that I needed to show other people, how to make it. So here we are. Okay, so before we begin, I want to talk about what makes a paper airplane fly. And at first I thought it was maybe because they're so light, right? Paper airplanes are light. They're super light. I mean, you might think, oh no, but you can feel it. It's a little bit heavy. Yeah, no. I mean, for a simple comparison, compare it with a bottle of water. I mean, which one do you think from intuition is gonna fly better? Paper airplane or a bottle of water? Obviously the paper airplane. So there might be a little connection saying, oh, light means it flies better. Oh look, feathers fly. Yeah, but they also don't go so far when you throw them. If you don't believe me, try throwing a feather yourself. You'll realize after going about 5 feet, it loses all of its speed and then it just plummets straight down. So light does not necessarily mean flies well. So I thought maybe there's another reason. Or maybe it's because of the way that you throw it, right? When you throw a paper airplane, it goes from here all the way out to here and it's at an upward angle. Is that why they fly so far? No, that wasn't the reason either. Because clearly, this video exists, which means there's a way to launch it that doesn't involve this large arc of motion. So what is the reason? Well, the reason a paper airplane flies so far is, to understand what the reason is, watch until the end of the video. So what you're gonna need for this design, you're gonna need a paper airplane, a paper clip, some hot glue, a cereal box, a toilet paper roll, and 2 popsicle sticks. The basic model requires these things. And they're all pretty basic. You should have most, if not all of these. But if you don't, I will offer some substitutes when we get to those points. The first thing you want to build is the paper airplane. And the standard normal paper airplane works great for this model. But there's a modified version of the standard paper airplane that I love. It is so much better than the normal kind because a main problem with the normal paper airplane is that the nose gets absolutely wrecked within 3 throws. It's not the best at durability. So there is this mildly modified version which is super cool. And it's super similar to the normal paper airplane design. It's in fact so similar, you only need 1 extra fold to do this. And this is how you do it. Okay. So to launch this paper airplane, you're gonna need a way to attach it to your launcher. But Noob Gaming, if it's attached to the launcher, then how will it fly? Well, let's look at how a bow and arrow works, or a crossbow. Not a crossbow. Crossbows are too complicated. Let's look at a bow and arrow. When you pull back the bow on the arrow, there's a little clip that attaches the bow to the arrow. And the moment you let go, the string gives the arrow so much force that it breaks apart that attachment. Yeah, we don't need like some epoxy bond between our paper airplane and our launcher. We just need something that keeps the paper airplane attached or touching the launcher until we let go of it. And the moment we launch the paper airplane, we want it to detach. And at first, I thought, just like a bow and arrow, what if we put an attachment to the back of our paper airplane, and when we pull back and we let go, it will go off on its own. And while this idea seemed great, there is one key difference between a paper airplane and an arrow. And it's not the fact that it's made out of paper. The main difference between a paper airplane and an arrow is the fact that an arrow is a sturdy piece of equipment. It is strong, right? It can poke through walls and stuff like that. A paper airplane, on the other hand, is not that strong. In fact, it's really flexible. So if you were to have this attachment on the back of a paper airplane, there's a high chance that it can bend to one side or the other and go the wrong way. And that's not cool. In fact, I actually tried this out and it didn't work that well. I had multiple occurrences where the paper airplane actually turned so far to the left, it hit me in the foot. And I decided not to go with the idea of having a clip on the back of the airplane. So instead, I added the clip to the front, and my God, did that make a difference. It made such a big difference that it actually worked. So what I did, I put the paper clip on the airplane the way it shows in this picture. It can only be this way. I tried to do it differently, it didn't work. Now you're gonna take one of the non-bent pieces, you know, one of those pieces that just ends, yeah, and you're gonna pull that out so that it kind of juts out the bottom of the airplane. And this is your hooking mechanism. A cool way to test out if this were to work is to use a pencil with a rubber band around it, and then you can pull back on the rubber band. But if you were to test this current stage of development, you'll see that the paper clip doesn't stay on the airplane. It pops off the moment you give it even a medium amount of force. So what you're looking for is a way to keep the paper clip attached to the airplane so that when you pull it back, it doesn't come off. For this, I use hot glue. Only problem with hot glue is that it's heavy. Hot glue is heavy, and you might think, no, it's super light. But in terms of paper airplane, it can be the difference between a super soarer and a nosediver. And what I did to balance out this extreme amount of weight we had in the front was to add weight to the back, and I use hot glue for this as well. One of the things it does best is to be a weight. You can add it however you want. I recommend adding it the way I've added it here, kind of spread out so that you get the same amount of weight, but you also don't end up causing like an air obstruction, which can cause turbulence, which can cause your airplane to not be able to fly. So now we're done with the airplane in terms of, you know, the practical parts of it. So let's move on to the launcher. For the launcher, I used a cereal box, toilet paper roll, hot glue, and some popsicle sticks. I started off by taking the cereal box and attaching the popsicle sticks to the left and right sides of it. But it's hard to get an accurate measurement, and if you're a lazy person and you don't really feel like, oh, measuring 4.5 inches this way and 5 inches that way, then I got a solution for you. Take a ruler and spread it across the cereal box horizontally. You can use your eyeball for this. You don't need to measure it out. I mean, after all, we're trying to make it easier. Then make markings on both sides. This is a super simple way. If you don't really feel like measuring it out, then there's a really easy way you can get somewhat equal markings. And then, where you've made those little markings, you are going to add little strips of hot glue along the sides of the box. Now, on these hot glue, you guessed it, you're gonna be putting popsicle sticks. Put them exactly the way I did in the picture. If you don't, then you might end up with too long or too short markers on the sides for the rubber band. And that brings me exactly, that was a nice segue, but the next thing you wanna do is get a rubber band and put it around the popsicle sticks. And this is basically the equivalent of a string on a bow. And yeah, the launching part of this launcher is complete. And it'll work. You can try it out, you can pull the paper airplane back, you test it, and it'll work great. But there's a major kink, and that it's super awkward. If you try to do it, you'll notice that it's weird. So if you were to test this out, you'd notice that it's pretty awkward to hold. It's kind of your hands in an awkward sideways position while you're drawing back the paper airplane. If you want something more ergonomic, if you want something that's a little more practical, something that you can use just like a Nerf blaster, then I recommend using a toilet paper roll. If you don't have a toilet paper roll, which I doubt because everyone's buying toilet paper. So if you don't have toilet paper roll, how? But if you do, then you're gonna attach it to the bottom of the box anywhere you want. It doesn't really matter where you put it. It's just when you're pulling back the paper airplane, it's better to have less of the box in front of your hand so that you can have more control over it. If you don't have toilet paper rolls, then what you should probably use is something like a can. A can doesn't work as well. If you do use a can, you can't use hot glue. I'm sorry, aluminum and hot glue don't like each other, so that's not gonna work that well. But you can use tape, electrical tape, masking tape, any kind of tape. If you don't have a can, or if you don't want to use a can, then you can use any kind of long, slender box that's small enough that it can fit inside your hand. Anything that resembles a toilet paper roll, really. And once you've attached that toilet paper roll or whatever object you're using, you're done with the practical stuff. That is it. That is the whole thing. It's super simple, and that is why I love it so much. I can't stop playing with this thing. It is way too much fun. And if you make two, well then guess what? You can have battles with these things. If you don't want Nerfs, if you don't want to have the mess of losing your Nerf bullets, or you just can't get them because all the stores are closed now, then you can make one of these and you can still have the most epic toy gun battles ever, okay? And I know that was really cringy. I only realized it after it came out of my mouth. I have to talk about something I said in the beginning of the video, and that is, what does make a paper airplane fly far? Like I said, I ruled out that it's light because heavy airplanes fly better than light ones, obviously with a certain limit, but the more weight you add to a paper airplane, the better it's gonna fly, because the more momentum it has, the easier it can push through air. Yeah, so the real thing that makes paper airplanes fly so well is the amount of speed that you give them when you throw them. When you use your hands, right? This arc of motion you have, that's a big arc of motion. With this launcher, the motion is small. So it's not about how you throw it, it's how powerful that throw is. At the end of this arc of motion that your hand gives it, how fast is your hand going? Pretty fast. It's just that we as humans can't produce that kind of speed with a short motion. We use this large hand motion so we can build up that speed over this distance without having to put too much energy in ourselves. But with a launcher like this that uses a simple rubber band, it can get that amount of speed really quick. The paper airplane is still getting moved at the same speed by the end of the launch. And that is what makes a paper airplane powerful. That is going to have to end it for this video. Like, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100. When I reach 100, something really epic will happen. So please subscribe so that you can see what I do when I hit 100. It will be really cool. Yeah, check out this video, subscribe to my channel here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.